Hi, welcome to this tutorial on using the Google Earth mobile app. So Google Earth, you see there, is also app-based. They really have upgraded Google Earth in the last several years. It used to be you had to install it on a desktop. Now there's a web-based version that runs on Chromebooks, laptops, and then this app-based version, which is almost as robust or as full as the desktop installed version. So you might be familiar with Google Earth. It does look a lot like Google Maps, but it has some really cool different tools than Google Maps does. Google Maps particularly used for directions, finding restaurants, traffic, that sort of thing. This has a lot more sort of educational, interactive, measuring tools. So just in terms of the menu or the buttons, I'm here at my sort of homepage location. Again, 3 dashes on the left-hand side. You've got search, Voyager, projects, different options here down the side. Across the top, you've got your magnifying glass for searching. You've got your wheel, which is Voyager, which we're going to look at in a second. Your dice, which is I Feel Lucky. When you hit that, it takes you to a random place somewhere in the world, and you can get some information and learn about that place. The ruler, which is the distance or measuring tool, which we'll look at. Down the side here, the sort of arrow or compass tool, when you hit that, it finds where you are, effectively as a GPS locate tool. The person is the street view or the photosphere person, and then we can go 3D or 2D, as well as then the compass button orients us north. Across the bottom, you see latitude and longitude, which is a great way to talk when we're talking about geography, talking about math, if we're doing distances between coordinates, those sorts of things. And then it shows the elevation, actually. So this is currently from 2,912 feet in the air. That would be the view, sort of where we are. So you can do your sort of pinch zoom in and out to see where your different things are. Do your search button, search for a particular place, or there's some other featured options that are listed. The Voyager tool, which is that steering wheel at the top. Voyager are all these pre-built tours, interactive places. Here you see waterways from space. Time lapse, which is really cool. That's the one I'm going to look at here. I'm going to hit a time lapse. So this is great for you to be able to use for students in class, as well as have students just find different things. So here's a time lapse. This one happens to be particularly about, guessing glaciers. Okay. Actually, it looks like this one's not functioning in its perfect way. Let's look at this one here. There we go. We're going to go to a different one. So here's a time lapse. You see as it rolls through here, shows different landscape, what's going on. There's stories here, changing forests, fragile beauty, warming planet. So you can actually select those. You can check out featured locations here. You can look at the about and show those there. If you find something that you like, in the top right-hand corner, there's the 3 dots. You can actually share this page from the app. And just like always, depending on what you have, you can share it via email, Twitter. Copy is the easiest thing. That copies the link. You can copy that link into anything there, including Google Classroom, an email, different options. So that's the Voyager tool, which is very cool. There's also the street view or this photosphere tool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the compass button. I'm going to go back to my current location. And this little person is the street view tool. Okay, so we're going to back ourselves out of there a little bit. When I click on that, it's going to highlight anywhere that has a street view option. So you'll see all these roads here where I can go ahead and I can place just by clicking or touching that area, it'll go ahead and it'll fly into that location. Then I can check out the street view, right? So I can kind of spin myself around here and I can see different options there. If I don't like that, I can back myself out. Okay, and once again, then I can check and I can see different options. I'm going to hit that again just so you can see something else. Something to note here, you see that there is come back. There's a blue dot. Those blue dots are publicly sourced. People took 3D images and place them in Google Maps. And Google Earth also integrates with that. So when I touch on one of those little dots, it's actually a photo that someone took with a 3D camera or an app that you can actually then go and see. So this is actually inside our school building. And you can see by the owner of the photo down there in the bottom, which is me, I actually took that photo. So there's that option there, that person on the right there. One of the super cool things is, and this is what I suggest and we use a lot for integration, is the distance tool. So we have this ruler up here at the top. You can see that currently there's our dot. So I'm going to put the dot right here on the goal line, and we're going to see how accurate it is. Okay, so that's where I'm starting. I'm going to hit add point, and then it's going to allow me to drag. And if I want to, I can pinch zoom in. And you can see that about 300 feet, and it depends on how straight my line is, okay, I can get that, which 300 feet would be exactly 100 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a point there randomly. I want to show you another thing, right? You can actually draw shapes. We're going to add a point, and then I can come in here, and then when I hit that, it'll ask me here if I want to close the shape. I do want to close the shape, and now I can do perimeter and area, and I can change the units in the drop-down menu. So this is super cool for math, science, all kinds of different things. Trigonometry, we used it all the time. So that's probably my favorite tool inside of Google Earth, is actually the distance tool.